See, it's all has to do with your sense of belonging. I always find that your sense of belonging does not necessarily include yours or someone else's in your family. What you feel is a sign of support or a sign of helping may not necessarily be someone else's. Right? We have our own. And the world has become such a racy place, with so much to achieve, so much to succeed, that we've started thinking that the thumb does not belong to the rest of your fingers. So is this thumb separate? Is this forefinger separate? Is this middle finger separate? That's how people have become. It's me, my spouse, and my 2 children. I don't care about you. I don't really care about my parents. Anything can happen to anybody. I don't need to do for you. I don't like what you do. So I'm not going to support you in in the other area that you're doing. You drink too much. I don't think I can support, your career in life. See, we all have these rules. And sometimes it baffles me when the feeling I have for someone else is not reciprocated. Right? When you support somebody, you don't support them on your terms. You have to support them on their terms. What is it that you need? And this is true. This is the one way of escaping depression. If you make your entire life about what can I do for you? How can I help you? In what way can I support you? In what way can I be your crutch? Then there is no worrying about what about me. The problem with the whole world is that they're only concerned about me. What about me? What is happening to me? What is going to be my role in it? I supported her at this time, I did this for her. I did that for her. You want recognition for what you did. You want people to remember, at that time when she had someone passed away in a family, that person took care of all the arrangements. You want recognition even in a time of so much need. I used to feel really amused. My father-in-law did such a noble thing. He gave away his apartment to his widowed sister and her family. But he expected that every time they met, that they said thank you. They would say thank you. And if they didn't, they were ungrateful wretches. He was a pillar of support at a time when she lost her husband. By giving that, right? It was such a noble act, the house that you're living in, to give it away and move somewhere else. But then, to expect gratitude from them every day makes life very unpleasant. It's not going to come. So we want to support you, but we want recognition for whatever we're doing. So even that act of kindness, that random act of kindness that you're doing, even if it's a small act of kindness, you want it to be remembered. Today Joel Osteen was talking about someone who remembered that he was riding on his bike and she was taking her garbage out, and he threw his bike on the ground and went and got the garbage cans and dragged them to the front. Something as small as that. And he doesn't even remember doing this. But what he says is that look at the divine connection. Look at how things have to fall in place for something like this to happen. Right? He has to be in a certain place, driving by on a bike. That woman has to be taking out her garbage. She has to find it difficult. And he has to notice that she's finding it difficult, drop his bike and come there. So many things have to work in order for that act of kindness. It's almost as if it is orchestrated for you. Acts of kindness, of support, are a gift from the divine. They don't come to everybody. They don't come to everybody. You've got to be extremely lucky to be able to do something nice for somebody else, to be there to support somebody else, to hold someone else's hand, to help them walk along. It does not come to everybody. You have to be extremely fortunate to nurse someone in their last days. That is a God-given gift to you. The blessings that you get are unimaginable. The worst thing to do is to support someone in, on the surface, or to do things for someone on the surface and then complain. We know many of them like that, right? That complain non-stop about things that they're doing. I'm doing all this, and this one is doing this one is, she's doing this, she's doing that, she's doing all that. No gratitude for anything I do. It negates every act, every little act of kindness that you have done. When you commit to an act of kindness, an act of support, you are in service of the divine. You're not doing it for recognition. You're not doing it for fame. You're not doing it for any reward. You're doing it because you don't have an option. That is who you are. That is who. There are certain people that automatically will be there to support you. And sometimes you wonder how it happens. I lived in Mexico and I was pregnant with my child. And I had a car accident. And I knew nobody. I had been in the country only 4 months. I couldn't speak Spanish. I didn't know any Indians, anybody. The week prior to that, I had gone to a meeting, but I had met a few Indian families. And that's it. I came home. I was in bed rest. And suddenly someone knocks on the door. There was this Sri Lankan lady who heard from someone that I had a car accident. Took 3 buses to come to my house in Mexico, stayed the whole day and cooked 7 meals for me and left. Support and kindness, and not expecting a thing in return. She just did it because she knew I had no one to do it for me. I was all alone. And in order for that kind of support to happen, there is divine intervention. Someone comes in the way. How much does it cost you to say, I am there? Whatever you need, I am there. You don't think that you're doing something fantastic by supporting someone. Because if you're not there, the divine will intervene somehow. I'll tell you of another incident. My daughter called me one day. She was driving back from Gainesville. She had hydroplaned. And near Jupiter. And there's a stretch after Jupiter where it's completely dark. No cars anywhere if you've driven on I-75. The car spun and was facing the other way onto oncoming traffic. And she's screaming and she's shouting at me. And I'm on the phone with her. And I'm like, calm down. Where are you? What is happening? She says, there's nobody on the road, there's nothing. But if a car comes, it's going to hit me. I'm on the main road. And she said, wait a minute, there's some headlights. So I said, what do you see? She said, it's a police car. What are the chances? Some kind person, of course I'm thinking rationally, must have called it in. And a police car comes, pulls her bumper off, holds the traffic off till she pulls to the side of the road. So if you are not there to help her, someone will. That's how the divine works. When you need the support, when you need the help, you'll get it from the right people. It may not be from the people you want. Because most often, your spiritual family is not your blood family. We get really disappointed because sometimes our blood family doesn't behave the way they're supposed to behave. Sometimes we're all very lucky and our blood family is very supportive and is there when you need it. But it might come from somewhere else. And each one supports. I feel that in life we support people in different ways. We do the best that we can, and you must take the help from people according to what they can give you. But ultimately, it's all on you. Your journey is alone. Your journey is completely alone. It doesn't matter who you're married to. It doesn't matter who your child is. It doesn't matter who your mother is. It doesn't matter who your father is. Everyone's going to be here. They're going to go. You're here. You're going to go. And you're going to have to face everything alone. Whether someone says, I'm there for you, you are processing whatever you're processing on your own. You are dealing with whatever you're dealing with on your own. Even though you might have a friend holding your hand, dealing with that divorce, dealing with that job loss, dealing with that family loss, it's on you. You're doing it alone. Yet the human race is such, we cannot survive alone. We cannot. We are hardwired for group activity. Why? Because when we were hunters and gatherers, many, many years ago, if we were thrown out of a group, it meant death. You could never survive the wild if the group didn't protect you. So when a relationship breaks, it devastates us. When someone dies and we have to face that separation, it devastates us. Why? Because in our DNA we are hardwired for group activity. We are born to show love and compassion and kindness and to care and to share. We are born to live in groups. And we have created barriers ourselves right around us, isolating us from the rest of the world, telling ourselves that we don't care, we don't need this one, we don't need that one. The truth is very contradictory. I keep telling you every time we are here together that yes, while on the one hand you deal with your own stuff, we can't live in this world alone. We need people. We need, the garbage collector to collect the garbage. We need the doctor. We need the postman. We need the telephone operator. We need the handyman to put up our pictures. We need people all the time. We need friends. We need that. Some people give us emotional strength. Some people give us economic security. Everyone provides something different in a relationship. My daughter wanted to go on a silence course, but she is currently without a job. And we spoke to our astrologer, we were talking and she said, I wanted to go, but I'm not going to do it because I don't have. He says, I'll write you a check. I'll give you the money to go if you want to go. So there are people that just do strange, random acts of kindness. If you really want the money, if you really want something, if you really need something, it comes. It comes from somewhere. If you are in touch with yourself, you have no option other than to give. That's why service is hardwired in our DNA. We are not born to just be I, me, myself. When you are I, me, myself, you suffer from a lot of psychological problems, a lot of mental problems, because that is not how you were supposed to be. You were born to give the love. In giving you receive, in giving you receive. These are channels. It goes back and forth. We are connected in a web, in this unseen web, to so many people around us. So many people that we can show our love and kindness for, that we can show our support in different ways. It doesn't mean that you write a check to some charity. That is one part of it. Actual philanthropy is one part of it. But your time, your service, your kindness, your attention, the things you value a lot, your energy for someone else, those things are invaluable. Those things are invaluable. And there should be no effort. There should be no, I must do this for that person. It must flow naturally. Because a lot of the time, you may want to call someone, you may want to, talk to them. They may not want it. They may not want it. So you can't be calling them, pestering them all the time, saying, I hope you're okay, I hope you're okay. They don't want to hear from anybody. Not now. You got to leave them alone. My sister always will say, I want you to hear me, I don't want suggestions from you. It's hard to keep your suggestions to yourself. But she says, I just want you to hear me. I'm mad, I'm annoyed, just listen to what I have to say. I don't want to hear your suggestions.
My daughter says that.
Your daughter says that, right? Yeah. I'm like, then why don't you speak to yourself? Why are you calling me? My daughter says that too to me. But I don't understand that, right? Because I automatically believe that if you're calling me and telling me about a problem you have, you're looking for a solution or some answers, and I'm happy to share what I know. But if you didn't want to hear anything, then tell me right at the start that don't say a thing. Which is what I mean is that I may want to help someone in a certain way. That's not how they want it. So this is relationships and giving to others and sharing and caring. It's a very complex web. It's become a very complex web. It should be really simple. It should be really simple. But it's become a very, very complex web. But the ultimate test, the ultimate litmus test is how do I feel about it? I've sent a text message, I feel good. I've made a phone call, I feel good. I dropped in to see her, I feel good. I cooked a meal for her, I feel good. I wrote a check down for her, I feel good. I just sent her a card, I feel good. That's your ultimate. What makes you feel comfortable? To what level do you want to support? Nothing is prescribed. Nothing is either good or bad. It is so personal. End of the day, keep that smile on your face. Keep that joy in your heart. Nothing else in this world matters. Happiness is your birthright. Remember that always, always, always.